And he pulls up his overall, and I see a gunshot wound in his leg. I said, dang, Frank, you got shot? He said, yeah, my wife shot me about 10 years ago. I said, man, you mean your ex-wife, don't you? He says, no. He says, I'm still with her, right? I said, damn. About 3 months later, she killed him.
Wow.
After I played it. Yeah, same lady that shot him 10 months before.
Oh, my
10
God.
Years.
She shot him dead?
Dead.
Jesus
I think she did 6 months in a mental place. Yeah.
So what did you do, and how'd you do it?
Okay, the road trip?
Yes.
Okay, so me and my high school buddy, Doug Donovan, then we went and played, we played a lot of pool together. We decided we're going to do this. And his was more of an experiment kind of thing. You know, he was going on to UT and, you know, doing his thing. And so we went to New Orleans first. We're going to go visit my grandparents in Florida. Knew Florida was a good spot. So we went Florida, we went New Orleans first, Mississippi second, Alabama third. You know, we hit all these spots. You know, and back in the day, now I didn't know this as of yet because it was my first road trip, but on a normal road trip, because no cell phones, right? You go to like Waffle House when you drive in, you get you some food, you go get the yellow pages, and you literally go to where it says Billiards in the yellow pages, you know, and you just start going to the payphone and calling. And normally the bartender or whoever answers will divulge a little more information than they probably should. You know, like if the players knew, oh yeah, she's telling me, yeah, Joe's a good player and he likes to gamble at 9-ball. This guy likes to play one pocket, you know. So you get a lot of information over the phone, and then you just go to those pool rooms and, you know, start trying to get down.
Wow. And how good of a player were you fresh out of high school?
Well, you know, a year, and I was real lucky. I had some really good players just kind of like come to the pool room and play me pool and do things with me and show me things. And I was a pretty good athlete anyway, so I kind of picked up things quick. But I played good enough to beat them on the way to Florida, Joe. But they were way too smart, and we were way too dumb to stop at the same pool rooms on the way back because they got us on the way. But they kind of knew how we played, you know what I mean? Brought some play. Yeah. Got us on a few gaff games, you know. So we kind of went empty on the way home, pretty much. But
explain a gaff game to the uninitiated.
So a gaff game is kind of like, you know, 3-card, right? The shell game, any of those games, you know, you're going to lose, and even if you're going to pick the right one, they start the, you know, the song and dance again. That's how the shell game goes, right? So it's basically a game that you're just not going to win at.
Like, give me an example.
It sounds good, kind of like, oh, like this might sound good to you, but you know better now, like
8-ball, taking balls off.
That kind of thing, or say we're playing 9-ball, right? And I might say to you, Joe, all you got to do is drive a ball to the rail, but I get break ball in hand. Playing 9-ball. You understand?
Right.
So I mean, if I'm basically playing the ghost, meaning
right.
I'm going to try and run out every time, but until you start to see it happening, you're not going to believe it. You might go for that. You ain't even got to pocket a ball. You just got to drive one to a rail.
Right.
You know, there's tons of them. So
that's an interesting game to play with someone who can't play, because that would get them thinking, I can do that.
Or naive pool rooms. Like if there's naive pool rooms with a good player that just really ain't running out, I mean, that just sounds like the world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That just sounds, all right, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Exactly.
I can drive one to a rail, that's for sure, but, you know.
But the thing is, like practicing with you today, probably not. Like, and especially if it's a bucket, it's a large pocketed table, you run out like a champion, man. It's amazing. I know you're not, like, playing professionally as much anymore, but damn, that was really impressive.
Yeah, I've been here a few days, got to
wow people. And there were a lot of them were gambling addicts. And a lot of them were really fucking smart guys, and they were really good pool players.
Oh, yeah.
And they just couldn't deal with regular world. They had to get to a pool hall. Let's get to a fucking pool hall. Are there any pool players around here? And they didn't give a fuck about anybody who wasn't a pool player.
Yeah, they're comfortable, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
and they were just around these people, and every day would be the same kind of conversations. Like, this guy could get the A, and, and it was always like, you don't have heart. You
that was New York, right?
Oh, my God. New York was so much talk, but so little, like, real high gambling that I saw. But I saw a few. I told you about Water Dog when he played this guy George the Greek. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I've talked about it before. So in brevity, he would do heroin in the bathroom, come out, sit on a chair for 20 minutes, just like gone, and then couldn't miss. It was wild on what you would call like a gaff table. It was a very tight table, and the shims were all fucked up. It wasn't perfect.
Right.
Like if you hit the point on the way in, weird shit could happen.
Yeah, you could hit the ball well and it not go.
Yeah. It was, but he was firing them in like it was a swimming pool.
Oh yeah.
He was firing them in. It was
sound like Earl right there.
His stroke was so pure. It was so pure. It was so wild to watch. He was just running out. I think he might have run like 75 and out or something like that. Like something
which
crazy.
is like 300 on a regular table.
We just watch him do it. It was like watching him just run ball after ball while George couldn't do shit. He beat him a couple times like that with different games too. I think they played some one pocket too. George loved one pocket, but he would gamble high. He would like be the one guy that would gamble thousands of dollars. And then there was this one dude named International Sal. And International Sal made his money from American Express card scam way back in the day. They would get the carbons, and then they would make duplicate cards and buy a bunch of shit and then sell it. And he would go to the pool hall, and they would bring him bags of cash, just bags of cash. And he was just there all day gambling, losing.
Yeah, well, he was probably one of the few gamblers there. I mean, I love New York. I love the guys around New York, but it is more of like a lot of shit talking, really, and not as much action, maybe.
It's interesting that that's the case, because you would think of New York, you would think of like wild people, crazy. They're out there on the streets, they're gambling, like.
Yeah, it's almost like they've been doing it longer, though. Like they're smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they want to win. I mean, they want the edge, and that's another part of it that's always awesome. When you're in there trying to match up, everyone's trying to get a little edge.
Yeah,
it's just almost like human instinct to try and get a little edge.
Did you read Running the Table, the Kid Delicious book?
No, I haven't read it completely.
It's a really good book. It's a really good book.
He was a great guy.
The guy who wrote it, what is his name? John Wertheim, I believe. Fucking just did a beautiful job. Like pain.
And it's because we raised it and whatnot. And so now the whole town, this is a small town, okay, just up in the northeast corner of Tennessee. So the whole town starts coming in, and this is their hero. So my buddy starts taking bets on the side, So now I got him 10,000 loser, and he says, we want to play a set for 10,000. This is what Frank says, the stake horse. He says, but we need to call late. You know what the call late is, of course, right? So I said, okay, yeah. So we're going to race to 15. So we're betting about 10,000 on the side. Okay, so we're playing a set for like 20. All right, because my buddy's got a list of bets this long with all the town people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's 9-8 me. Instead of playing safe on the 8, I try to jack up off the end rail and stab it in and draw my ball. You know what I mean? Right. And I bobble it. He makes it. He breaks and runs 5 racks. He's up 14-9. So now he breaks, going to 15. And the 4-9 is wired over the spot. He makes an incredible shot on the 1. He's got the 3 down the rail, and he's just got a cupcake on the 4-9. So I turned my buddy, and I said, man, we ain't got but like 8,000 left, because we were winner. We start off 1,000 a set. I said, we can't lower the bet. You can't do that. Right. Then they know you're short. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, what are we going to do? We'll get more money tomorrow, or whatever, right? So the pool table's here, right? He's shooting to this corner. Now, Frank is the only guy. He's sitting right here on a stool chair, right, like a little school chair. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is way back over here besides me and my buddies over here, right, all the people watching. So he knocks the 3 in, Mark does, and he comes down. He was kind of one of those guys that would fire the 9 in. You know what I'm saying? You've seen him. He rifles this 4-9. He could have just tapped it, and it would have rolled right in the corner. This ball went down and swirled around in the pocket, jumped almost all the way back out to the spot. That's how far it went.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, all the money's on the light, right? So Frank, he knows about pool, and the ball's aimed directly at Frank. So as soon as he hits it, he knows it's in. So Frank starts to get up and get the money. I said, oh, Frank, I said, the 9's on the table. Frank's like 75 years old. He's got glasses. So I said, the 9's on the table. He says, oh, I'm sorry. Like he didn't realize it didn't go in. Well, it did go in. It just came back out. Yeah. Never pocketed another ball the whole set. I played safe on that first shot. I broke a ran, played safe, broke a ran, beat him 15-14. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. So now the kid, he quits, and he's literally crying out on the stairs. Okay. So Frank says, come back the next day. We'll play you some more. So we come back the next day. We start out playing like for 3,500, races to 11. So I beat him 3 sets. So he says, hey, he's going to take a break. He said, I'll play you some more in a minute. I'm like, sweet, man. This is good. Good action, So Frank's sitting in this chair right here, and the kid's practicing a little bit, and he hits a ball in that same pocket. It jumps the pocket, hits Frank dead in the eye, right? And his glasses, and blood's going everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was ironically crazy, right? So we end up having to quit, and we never end up playing again. So the same pocket that kind of saved me the day before, right, kind of got him the next day, and we end up never playing, yeah. Funny story.
What kind of shitty table is that?
It was a Gold Crown, but it had replacement pockets. The big black ones, they go in, they're kind of bulky, they kind of move around a little bit.
Did a shitty job.
Yeah, it's old school pool hall. But,
oh, man.
Yeah, that Frank, he was something else. So
Cup, is he the guy that you're like most happy is in the clinch?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about it earlier last night with my buddies, the ones you met, and the best thing for me coming to Mosconi as far as a decision is Hill, and do I got to pick Skyler or Shane to play that Hill match?
Pretty good decision.
Yeah, it's just because you got to say Shane's the probably the pick most of the time, but I mean Skyler's one of those that may prove you different that week. You know what I mean? It may be like a no-brainer. So.
And the Mosconi Cup is fascinating because it's they openly encourage cheering. Like it's
is that what
so
you call it?
Wild.
I'm
joking.
So wild.
Yeah. Let's hear this. Hear the volume on this.
Forward pressure pack.
This is from the 60s.
Oh, that was when.
Yeah. That's 2018 when we won after losing 8 years in a row.
Made that shot.
But
so these
I don't think that
crowds, like, how are they so much different for the Mosconi Cup than everyone else? I mean,
they're singing and
nationalistic,
dancing. Yeah, they're
USA versus Europe.
Oh yeah, it's big. I mean, all those countries, they're big on that. I mean, soccer fans. I mean, it's just freaking crazy.
Is that
they're
okay?
nasty at times.
But is that better? Would that make it more exciting if people cheered in between shots but didn't do it at all while the guy's down on the ball? Like because it seems like they're good at that.
Well, they somewhat get almost settled. Occasionally you still have something peep out.
You're settle down.
Yeah.
Settle down for the referee.
Well, your call, the first place, it was a small venue, only 600 is when I started. Now that one had like 3,000, I think, right on top of you. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like right on top of you. You can feel everyone's energy. But your call, they used to have like laser pointers, the crowd did, and they'd point at the 9-ball while we were shooting. I mean, they were ruthless. Yeah, because they had 2 sessions, a noon and a 6. So they start drinking about 11:30. Well, by the time the 6 o'clock come, there were fights every time. I mean, it was unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, but amongst friends that came together, you know what I mean? Like those English are. Whew.
But it's so much different than any other pool tournament. And one of the things I was thinking was Jamie showed me that golf tournament where they play in front of a giant audience.
Mm-hmm. In Phoenix, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like what a great idea where everybody's cheering and screaming.
Oh yeah.
And maybe that's a thing that, like with the Mosconi Cup, if you had a high stakes game like that where people in the audience reacted like that,
Oh yeah.
maybe that would get more people engaged.
Well, I think that, but the thing with the long ones, man, they just play too long of races. A race to 100. I mean, come on, let's cut it up and do 3 out of 5 races to like 9 or something. Something that's going to keep your attraction.
I mean, if people want to watch it.
Yeah, and the big 9-ball tournaments now, the ones I've been traveling for and working, the fans are getting like the Mosconi every time. They're getting closer and closer.
Really?
Yeah, real smart fans, real energetic. I mean, going crazy, singing in between games.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it's getting better, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So is that encouraged?
Heck yeah. We want, yeah.
So you want people to be more engaged because it was always very quiet.
Well, the thing is, the players are loosening up a little more. So, the fans are going to follow what the players do. They want to engage with the players.
Right.
So, like at the Mosconi, you see Jason Shaw getting them going and whatnot, and we get them going as well. And that's starting to happen a little more on the regular tour now, to where the players are starting to engage with the fans more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that might be a thing that helps a lot. But it is nice to see all the streaming and Matchroom and the Predator series and all these different things that are happening.
So much pool, right?
So much pool. It's all over the place.
And there's some dollars out now. I mean, it is,
Yeah.
And even like